Hello everybody, most intros are in fact trash, so let's just get straight into the video.
If you want to get crazy, we can get crazy.
You know what I fucking hate? Critics. Yeah, I know that sounds weird coming from someone whose literal YouTube name has the word critic in it, but hear me out. I hate professional critics. I'm talking about the ones whose blurbs you see at the bottom of a Rotten Tomatoes page and it seems they've strung together a large series of words that means nothing in particular. Look at me, I'm super fucking smart. My mom beat me with a red hot tire iron. Whoopee! I'm not about to go full DCEU and claim all critics are paid by Disney. Trust me, I haven't lost all my brain cells yet. My problem with critics is that they all say the same generic shit. The word that every critic with an English or journalism degree feels the need to use for every good movie they see is the word masterpiece. Wreck-It Ralph 2 is a masterpiece and has saved cinema! There is nothing wrong with using the word masterpiece. Hell, I use it too. But when you're using it to describe half the movies you see, you're diminishing what a masterpiece truly is. Is Us a masterpiece? No. This will be a spoiler-free review, so don't get your dick in a twist. My biggest issue with Us is the lack of urgency and weight at times. You can feel the presence of the monsters most of the time, but there's a few instances where the monsters aren't even there and the family is just moseying around. If your characters are going to do nothing to advance the plot, at least add some tits, because movie breasts are the closest thing I'll experience to the real thing. In any other horror movie, this isn't much of a problem considering the spooks usually come out at night. But in a horror movie where the main protagonists are being hunted, you want to feel the sense of dread throughout the movie, with that feeling being lessened and lessened with each step the protagonists take towards beating the bad guys. I want to see my main thick boy Winston Duke clap his own ass cheeks hard enough to kill his copy. This sense of dread lingers in and out for me, and I attribute that to Jordan Peele's need for comedic relief. In most movies, directors will break the tension with comedy, and in Get Out, that works quite well most of the time, but in Us, I feel the comedy became a little bit too distracting at times. If you want to experience true hell in the form of comedy, almost ruining a great theme and message, watch Mulan, because every time Mushu comes on screen, I get close to shoving scissors into my ears. If Us had dialed back the jokes a decent amount, I would have been much more engaged with the film. I'd rather suck Danny DeVito's toes than watch the family joke about how many kills they have in a life or death situation. There isn't any major issues besides the lack of urgency, just a lot of minor stuff here and there. I felt the music choice could have been much stronger at a few certain points, but the score was pretty fantastic for the most part. Ominous chant singing is my kink, and I wish more movies did it. The acting from the two kids was pretty good for kids. If I'm judging them as I would any other actor, then I've got to take points away from them for being unbelievable at times. They weren't bad by any means, but I felt they could have been much stronger during a few scenes. Jordan Peele should have tried to actually murder the children. Maybe then they would have given us the performance we deserve. Alright, I know this is going to be weird, but I'm actually going to rave about the movie. Don't get your hopes up. I obviously still hate every single movie you like. Yes, you, the audience member. I hate only the films you like. Jordan Peele is such a fantastic character writer. Every individual he creates is incredibly fleshed out. These characters are elevated by the performances. Lupita Nyong'o gives a performance that can only be described as near perfect, if not perfect. She is very reminiscent of Toni Collette from Hereditary in terms of how many layers they've added to their character. This isn't to say Winston Duke gives a bad performance, he actually gives a great one. The thing is, Lupita definitely outshines Duke with just how fantastic she is. All things considered, Winston Duke is much more thick and sexy than Lupita, so I gotta give him bonus points for that. Visually, the movie is stunning, if a little bland at times, but for the most part, Jordan Peele makes his movie look absolutely incredible. This is of course the bare minimum in filmmaking because it's a visual medium, but you'll be surprised how many movies look like ass nowadays. Cough, cough, Solo: A Star Wars Story. Cough, cough. My apologies, I had a real bad cough there for a second. That was completely unprofessional. My favorite thing about Us was the thematic elements. I think I would have enjoyed Us even more if I didn't have my friend immediately tell me the theme and what all the symbolism meant after the movie ended because he read a nice Reddit article before we watched the movie. Despite having the great puzzle ruined for me, the thematic elements are so much more plentiful and subtle in Us compared to Get Out. I think surface level Get Out is the better movie, but if you dive deeper, Us is the superior flick. I honestly can't wait to rewatch Us so I can rewatch every scene from a new context looking for that juicy fucking symbolism. Overall, Us is proof that while Jordan Peele may be a tad overhyped, he is still capable of providing us with substantial and entertaining horror films. I give Us an 8 out of 10. I recommend Us to anyone who can focus on a movie that shows Winston Duke in underwear because I certainly can't. Thanks for watching. I have some social media on the screen. Subscribe, hit the bell, and farewell.